Welcome back to Miss Eddie's Math Movies, where it's a cute to be a square. Today's lesson is 8.7, Circumference and Area of Circles. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to find the circumference and area of circles. There's a lot of vocabulary that goes with circles. So first, to define a circle is the set of all points in a plane, right? We're just in one dimension, or I'm sorry, two dimensions. A set of all points that are the same distance from a given point. Which is called the center. The set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a given point, not pointed, called the center. So here's the center. If I go out one same direction, the same distance in all directions, and I end up with a circle. Not my best circle, but you get the idea. The radius is the distance from the center to a point on the circle. So if I go from the center to a point on the circle, that is called the radius. The diameter is the distance across the circle through the center. Across the circle. That should say circle. Fix that. Through the center. So if we go back to our picture, we got to go all the way across through the center. That is called the diameter. All the way across is the diameter. So if you look at the relationship here, here's a radius and here's a radius. So the diameter is equal to 2 radii, right? Here's one, here's another. The circumference is the distance around the circle. It's like the perimeter. Think of it as the perimeter. So all of this out here, this is the circumference. A central angle is an angle whose vertex is on the center. Is the center of the circle. So for example, this angle right here, you see this angle? That would be a central angle. Because the vertex, the elbow of the angle, is right there on the center of the circle. And a sector is a region determined by 2 radii. Right, so if you look back to our picture, just like a piece of pie, basically. So look, here's a radius and here's a radius. This is a sector. It's like a piece of pie. It's part of the circle. Maybe to make it a little. That is a sector. It's part of the circle. It's a piece of the circle. If we were to slice it up like pie. All right, so now we're going to find the circumference, and then we're going to do area. So to find the circumference of a circle, you do 2 times r times pi. And we talked about that if we have 2 radii, that's the same as diameter times pi. So this is the same thing, since 2r is the same as diameter. Is the product of pi and the diameter, or twice the product of pi and the radius. So it's diameter times pi or 2r pi. Same thing. So here, we're going to start by writing our formula. C equals 2r pi. We know the radius is 4. 2 times 4 times pi. So that's 8 times pi. If you don't have a calculator, you can leave it like this. You can leave it just like this. It's 8 pi inches. Remember, this is the distance around, so it's just inches. But if you do have a calculator, I'll show you where the pi button is. 8, and then you see right there is the pi symbol. So you're going to press second pi. 8 pi is 25.1. So C equals 25.1 just inches. So we're going to go down here. I want you to do these now. Don't forget about your units. This is just like example 1. I want you to note here that the diameter equals 16. So think about what the radius would be, and then use your formula. C equals 2r pi. If you don't have a calculator, leave your answer like this. If you do have a calculator, you can put it in. The area of a circle, well, we've been doing lots of base times height, but in a circle we only have a radius. So if we do radius times radius, that's going to give us a square. And how many of these squares do we need? Well, if I do 4, that's too many, right? So if I do radius squared, 4 squares is too many, so I need a little bit less than 4. A little bit more than 3. How about 3.14? So you do radius squared times pi. The product of pi and the radius squared. So you've got your circumference formula is 2r pi, and your area formula is r squared pi. Make sure you're noting the difference between those two. Notice the 2 is in a different place. Find the area of the circle. So the first thing we do is we write our formula. Area equals r squared pi. What's the radius? The radius is 7. Area equals 49 pi. If you don't have a calculator, you can leave it like this. Centimeters squared. If you do have a calculator, you can put it in. And we've got 49, there's our pi button, is 153.9. Find the radius with an area of 380. So I'm going to write my formula. Area equals r squared pi. I know the area is 380, so I'm going to put in 380 right there, and I don't know the radius. So I need to get the radius all by itself. So first I'm going to start by dividing by pi. It's going to cancel. So 380 divided by pi is, we'll say 121. To get rid of a square, I have to take the square root. So 11 equals r, and my units here are just feet, because I'm just talking about a length. All right, now it's your turn. I want you to do these now. These are like example 2. This is like example 3. Please watch your units. You're using the formula area equals r squared pi. Note here they give you the diameter, so make sure you find the radius and then use that formula. Now here they want me to find part of the area of the circle, just this part. So to do this, I'm going to write a proportion, right? And I kind of want you to think of this as little area over total area equals little angle over total angle. So what's our little area? Well, we don't know. That's what we're trying to find. That's x. What's the total area here? Well, we know that area is r squared pi. So what's my radius? My radius is 9. So I'm going to do 9 squared pi. And then my little angle is 120. And what's my total angle here? Well, you should know that there's 360 degrees in a circle. So we did little area over total area equals little angle over total angle. So we're going to cross multiply. All right, we're just going to put it all in our calculator. 9 squared pi times 120 divided by 360, 84.8 meters squared, because this is area. So here's your formula. Little over total, little over total. So here at the checkpoint, we're not going to solve, we're just going to fill in what we know. So little area over total area, which total is 22, is little angle over total angle, which is 360. So I want you to go ahead and do this now. Use your formula. And notice they told you the total area. You didn't have to find it this time. Now down here, you need to write the formula and solve. So write it out. Little area over total area, little angle over total angle. So I'll get you started. We're looking for this little area, so that's x. Total area, well, we know area equals r squared pi. So 2 squared pi, little angle is 60, total angle is 360. Then x is approximately something feet squared. So I want you to write a proportion, solve for x. Write a proportion, solve for x. Don't forget your units. So do this now. Don't forget your units. That's all for today. This is M Cubed signing out.